Hello, everybody. Today, 21st already. The month evaporated. So many things happened this month that we can't keep up the date. So 21 of January, wow. Okay, let's dive into it because yes, a lot of things happened. Okay, let me first introduce myself. I'm the communication manager from the platform Skyworld's community. And I am glad to be here with you again Saturday afternoon with so many people from all over the world, So, when did I start it? I started in 2017. And, well, maybe I was blown away like you were blown away. And I told the world about this technology, about this opportunity. I mean, I was flabbergasted. I didn't know that something like this could exist in the world. So we need this. We can do this together. And it was something that I prayed for, give me something that has a worldly impact on the environment, on people's lives for the next generations, a big legacy. And I can tell you, this is it. This is it. So I told many people about this. And a lot of people attended and my meetings, and a lot of people became a co-owner and were active to tell the world about this amazing opportunity. And so my team grew very fast. And then the board members of Skyworld's community asked me, are you interested in a business course, to follow a business course? Now, that is not my niche. My niche is health and consciousness. I'm a health and consciousness coach for 23 years. And so I like to improve. I like to learn. I like to go out of my comfort zone. And yes, I did attend the course. Our coach was Yuri Galata, tough coach. And every month for 1 year, we came together in a other country. And we were with 130 people from all over the world. There were 5 translators in the room. So you can imagine how many languages. And after that year, we chose 3 leaders of the leaders team. That's how we called us, the leaders team. And I was one of the chosen of the 3 leaders of the leaders team. And so the board members asked me if I was interested to become the communication manager. And I said, yes. So who are the board members? Here they are, hardworking people. Evgeny Kudryshov, Irina Volkova, František Solar, and Alexei Shokodyev. These people love the technology. Mainly, they're all engineers, mainly. And some of them were there from the beginning. Start when there was nothing, and we came so far and we succeeded. So thanks to this perseverance of these people that we are where we are now. So what is Skyworld's community? Skyworld's community is a platform that collects money for the UST transportation system company, Unitsky String Technology. And what do we offer on this platform? We offer a convertible loan, so you can support this technology and become a co-owner. And you can become also a partner. What is a partner? Somebody who is active and who tells the world about, come on, guys, we need to do something for the environment, for the next generations, for our finances. Let's do this. So that is a partner. And of course, you can become, like me, a co-owner and a partner. I'm a very proud co-owner and a very active partner. And I love this. It's amazing. I will share with you Why I put so much energy and time in it? Because, and money, of course, because I will blow your mind. You will see, I will blow your mind. So why do we all, and we are represented, I told people who came in the beginning, before the recording, we are now represented in all countries, all over the world, all of them. So why do we all, big group of people, put so much time and effort and energy and money in this technology? Well, I will tell you why. Because it is innovative, completely new, it's above the ground, and yes, you have the same thoughts as I. No traffic jams, yeah, for cargo and passenger transportation. No pollution, it's highly developed, 20 years ahead of all the technology we have at the in the current situation, we use at the current situation, we, you know, the way we transport ourselves, 20 years ahead. I mean, if you are, if you like technology, you have to get yourself a free back office and you have to read the 100 questions and 100 answers that our CEO wrote himself. You will be blown away. Yeah. And it can be built anywhere, anywhere. And I will tell you the details later on. So yes, we know Mother Nature is challenging us with the current transportation systems. And we made a mess. Yeah, cargo, passenger transportation, you know, everything, shipping, container, everything is in problems. I only have one word, and it is the word stuck. Everything is stuck everywhere. Yeah, so, and we give that solution for that necessity, because people need what? People need shelter, housing, people need food and clothing, people need medical care and transportation. And that last one is in big trouble. And we give a solution, a very effective solution. And I know that there is non-effective solutions at this moment. And how do I know? Because I was in a meeting, well, I was in 4 meetings in the harbor of Antwerp. And that is one of the biggest ports in Europe. And they are also looking for solutions for the last 12 years and found none, zero. Yeah. So here you go. That's why I know that there are no effective solutions available. And so we come with this solution. But when we were there in 2019, you can see here the date, 2019 May, there we didn't have a solution for container, because the port has problems with passenger transportation, but also containers. And so they asked one of the engineers who were there with me, and this is the person who's responsible for the local projects, the head of the engineers of local project. He was with me, and he flew back to the CEO, and I will end the story later on. So here we go. What does Unitsky offer us? People ask me, what is this technology all about? Well, we have 17 vehicles at this moment and 7 sort of rails. So we have the solution for all the transportation challenges in the world globally. Yeah. And we only started with 2 vehicles, this one, the Unibike and the Unibus. That was it. And then our CEO noticed that the demand was much bigger. So he created vehicles that could transport loose cargo, very fast vehicles between 500 and 600 kilometers an hour, and that can replace the airplane, that is a big polluter, the airplane. Then vehicles that can stand very cold temperatures, vehicles that can stand very high temperatures, sand, humidity, yeah. And then vehicles that can be built anywhere. I told you we can build anywhere, no borders. All right. And so here we go. That's where we started with Unibike. When I started with this platform, this was just on the tracks. Then there was another one, the Unibus for 14 people. And here you go. They're on the tracks, certified. Certified means they are allowed to be used in real life. Yeah. So they're on the tracks, certified. All right. And then I told you about the tropical one. This is the tropical one on the tracks. Yeah. And you can see beautiful pictures. And then the U-Truck. U-Truck is, I saw them all in action, and I sat in them, but this one was just, wow. This one, I think, is one of the most amazing vehicles that will solve a lot of problems, and it's engineering, top engineering. This vehicle can load or unload in 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. I saw it in action, and you can't believe it. It's so simple and so fast. And then the U-Trans. The U-Trans is for loading, unloading, and mining. Don't forget, it's all ecological. And then the Uniwind. Told you the story. I started to tell you the story about we can build anywhere, no borders. So this is how we do that. You can see this vehicle. This is a picture I took myself. And you can see the people in the back. This is quite a big vehicle, yeah? And it looks like a helicopter, but it's not. It is remote controlled, and it's a drone. And this drone can lift 1 ton. So this drone can lift this anchor, yeah? And this is a patent of a CEO. Our CEO designed that too, yeah? So this drone can fly this anchor wherever it is necessary, put it in the ground, and attach the strings to it. And the U-Wind is a very light vehicle, very, very light. You can read it in the name. I sat in it. It is very comfortable. You can sit in it with 2 people, and it can go in, up to areas where we never could go before. Then my favorite vehicle, the U-Flash. The U-Flash, here I am sitting in it. This was at the premiere in the InnoTrans, the biggest transportation fair in the world for professionals, for experts, not for public. And there are 1.5 million people coming from all over the world to look at the newest transportation systems in the world. And we were there, and people thought it was, first of all, it was from plastic, they thought. And second, they thought it was a racket. But it's not. It is a vehicle running on rails. You can see it, yeah? And you can compare it like a private jet, yeah? It's very comfortable, very luxurious. And this one is only for 6 people, but it can be much, much bigger. So yes, it was a privilege to show this vehicle to the world. And then we have the container. I told you I went with the head of the engineers of the local project. I went to Belgium, to the port of Antwerp. And we didn't have any solutions for container transportation, although they had big container transportation problems in that port. And we found out that it was not only in that port, of course. So the CEO flew back sorry, the engineer flew back to the CEO, and the CEO said, no, we don't have the money, we don't have the time to make that vehicle. But then what happened? There was the pandemic. And here you go, we had time and we gathered the money and we built container transportation. This is the small container. It cost $1 the 100 ton the kilometer. $1 the 100 ton the kilometer. Yeah. Do you know what an impact that will have on our food and our goods that we use? Yeah, because transportation is the biggest cost. Yeah. So we will all together, all the co-owners, we will be the reason why people will have cheaper food and cheaper goods. And then the big container, we just had the last certified approved, and so that it's a 4-track in United Arab Emirates, and it's finished, and the vehicle is certified, so it means it can be used. And we were waiting for that the whole year last year, and so we have it now. So that is huge news. So we can help all the ports all over the world with this transportation problem for containers, big containers, not only the small ones now, but also the big ones. Here you go. Here is how it looks like. They can hang or they can be on top of the rail, and they are certified now and approved to be used in commercial usage. Yeah, container transportation, and it will solve a big problem all over the world in a lot of ports. Yeah. So congratulations. Then another certification and another how should I say it? Approved vehicle is the U-Light. The U-Light is for tourism, and the Dalai Lama asked us asked the CEO if he had a solution for his pilgrims, because every year there are 1.5 million pilgrims visiting his monastery, and he lives in a quite remote area of India. And that was the start for the idea of the U-Light. And the first commercial project of the U-Light is now announced in Belarus. Next to our test park is a recreation park where you can stay, where you can, it's like a eco conscious park where people can stay, sleep, and there's a huge pond, and this U-Light is traveling over the pond to the other side. So this is finished. It's the first commercial project in the world of the U-Light. Yeah. And we were waiting for the commercial projects to be finished one by one, and this is the first one of the year. So we start this year with a very good start. Yes. All right. Then, of course, we also have solutions for seaports, for countries that have no ability to have seaports on land. We can build seaports offshore, and it can be between 5 and 10 kilometers offshore. Yeah. So that's amazing. And remember, it's all ecological, huh? And this is for container transportation, for goods, for passenger transportation. It can be used for everything. And then the housing. Big problem all over the world, housing. And so we have a solution, and it is called linear cities. And you can see the transportation here. Yeah. And these anchors, they're used as anchors. They are apartment blocks for people to live in. And you can see it's on the water. And this one is maybe the start of such a project. The Peace City World Congress will be held in Salamanca, that is in Spain, in the 23rd and the 27th January of this year. And Unitsky String Technology is offering a solution for the transportation in that city. And let's see how it turns out. All pray that it turns out good for us. Okay, then the people who are co-owners or people who are thinking to become co-owners, they need to see these next 4 slides. Why? Because you need to know what you have in your hands, how valuable, how amazing, how advanced this technology is, and then you will realize how important it is that you own a lot of shares. Okay, let's go. So this is a rail of the Unitsky String Technology transportation. Yeah, so we have here a metal frame, and it's, you know, it's not a special frame, but it is filled up with flexible concrete. The Unitsky transportation is filled with, you know, the rail is filled with flexible concrete. What does that mean? That the rail will not break. It will bend like a bamboo stick, but it will not break. So can you imagine earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes, you name it, yeah, it can resist it, yeah. Then inside there are metal strings. You see these white dots? These are not white dots, these are metal strings. And these metal strings are wrapped around each other like we do with rope. When we want rope to be very strong, that's what they did with the metal strings. So that means that this rail can bear very, very heavy load. That means a lot of cargo, a lot of people, yeah? So can you imagine the opportunity here? It doesn't break, it's flexible, and it can bear very heavy load. On top of that, there is a metal coating on the rail and also on the wheel. When the wheel is driving over the rail, there's almost no friction. That means no squeaking metal sound, yeah, so no noise pollution. Hallelujah for that. And also when there's no resistance, no friction, you don't need so much energy to drive the vehicles, yeah. So think about that. That is a big advantage, yeah. And of course we can transport anything we want in the rails. Okay, this also is very important. The Unitsky String Technology, the Unitsky, the rails are 5 times stronger, 3 times stronger, and the ride is 5 times smoother. Why? Because it's double anchored, yeah. How genius is that? So you have the A and the B here. That's just a normal anchor. And then there are side anchors. And you can see it here on the pictures, yeah. So I was driving in these vehicles, and you had to look outside to see if the vehicle was moving. You couldn't hear it, but you also could not feel it. So no bumpy ride and no squeaking sound of metal. Then we have now 7 sort of rails, and here are the 3 basic ones. You have the flexible one, and yes, you can see the anchors can be very far away parted, yeah, before the next one. And this is especially designed for very remote areas, yeah. Then you have the rigid one. The rigid one is a double one, yeah. You can have one on top and one underneath. And this one is designed for very heavy load, very, very heavy load. containers, a lot of people at the same time. Yeah, 30,000 people in an hour or something like that. So between big cities, or between a city and a harbor, between a city and a station, yeah, you can imagine. And then the semi-rigid one, the one above, is, you know, you can compare it like a bus or a train or a tram or a metro, but then in the air, and you will have a completely different view on your environment and your neighborhood, and the views are amazing. Yeah. Then the heart of the technology. This is also a patent of our CEO, and of many, he has many. And this engine can run on any environment-friendly fuel. Yeah. And here I told you there's a wheel with special metal coating, and here is the rail with special metal coating. You can see here the metal strings and the flexible concrete in the rail. So that was it. Yeah. Do you now understand? This was just a little bit of the technology. Do you now understand how valuable these shares are that you have in your possession, or how valuable these shares are that you're going to have in your possession? So let's compare, let's see all the other parameters, because a lot of people ask me about a lot of things. So I, put in my PowerPoint the most asked questions. So the aerodynamics, people ask me, why are these vehicles look so strange? Okay, the aerodynamics. The aerodynamics are expressed in CX. A normal car is, the CX is 0.4, yeah? And what happens, the car is driving on the road, and the air gets trapped underneath the vehicle, comes out at the back and swirls and sucks the vehicle backwards. So the vehicle needs extra fuel or electricity, energy, to get forward. Yeah, so it's loss of energy there. A Formula One car is doing already better, but you see the swirling, the same problem here. Sky is in the air. Yeah, so no air is trapped, and the CX is 0.06. That means that if this vehicle passes you, you will not hear it, you will not feel it, and the leaves on the trees will not move. Yeah, so the impact of your environment will be almost zero. And then, of course, because of the aerodynamics, and because of the no friction of the wheel and the rail, because of the metal, remember, these vehicles save up to 880 tons fuel each year. Each vehicle. Yeah, that's amazing. And then, of course, all the other parameters. People ask me, how costly is it? So the capital cost is very low. And I know this because I was in these meetings in the harbor of Antwerp. One of the first things they asked, how expensive is this? And you can see it's very low in cost. And I give you more details later on. Then the operation cost, very low. Yeah. So that's the maintenance. The energy consumption, very low. Yeah, that's a huge difference between comparing with the other transportation. And then the capacity is very high, very high. We can transport a lot of people and a lot of cargo at the same time. And then the last two ones are most important for me, and that is the pollution and the safety. That is very, very good. Yeah. Okay, and then the delivery cost, the delivery time, it is amazing. Yeah, we can replace the airplane, and that is a big polluter, a huge polluter. And then people ask me, yeah, but there are other transportation systems. And now and then I get an article or whatever sent by somebody, and they want to have more information about the other transportation. And I can tell you, I always send it to an engineer, and they always send me back the plus, the co, and the you know, the bad and the good about it. And there is not one that surpasses the Unitsky transportation. Let us compare why. Why? First of all, they're all eco-friendly, yeah? And the safety is good, yeah? Hyperloop medium, but still good, yeah? And that is very important. But then they all need a flat ground before they can build the technology. And I live here in a very hilly environment, and I can tell you the time, the effort, the money, the manpower they need before they can start building a train track or a highway or you name it. That's amazing. And Unitsky can be built anywhere. We just need a place for the anchors. Yeah. Did you know that a train rail, not the vehicle, the rails, yeah, and you know, the technology cost 22 million the kilometer, and now it will be even much more because the price of copper went up very high. So every 22 kilometer, every kilometer, 22 million, yeah, 22 million and more. So next time when you sit in a train, realize that it's so much money. Plus, it's not a very nice sight if you have a train track next to your door. You do not like it. Yeah, it makes a lot of noise and it's not pretty. And Unitsky is just wonderful. You don't hear it, you don't feel it, and the tracks are almost invisible. Yeah. And here you have your price. It was before 3 million and 8 million. The 3 million is for the single rail, and the 8 for the double rail. But I asked an update, is this price still ongoing? And they said no. The price for everything, every goods and everything is so high that we now have to charge 8 million, 15 million the kilometer. But if you compare it with the other ones, it's still nothing. And I didn't even update these prices. And then people say, yeah, but the Hyperloop goes very fast. Time is money. I don't agree. But anyway, 1,200 kilometers an hour. But did you see the price tag? 100 million and more the kilometer. And now it will be much more the kilometer. Yeah. So if you could choose, if you were somebody from the government or a private company who needs desperately a solution for transportation, what would you choose? There you go. So who is the genius behind, I was talking about the CEO, the CEO, the CEO. Let me introduce you our CEO, Dr. Anatoly Unitsky Eduardovich. This man is a genius, yeah? I met him twice. I sat down with him 1.5 hours. He came up to me and said, ask me any question. And he told me a lot about his life and how we got where he is now. I have a lot of respect for this man. This man has 150 inventions on his name. How many inventions do we have together here in this room? He has 150 inventions on his name. He wrote 20 monographies. That means books, 20 books, and 200 scientific papers. I always say, if this man was an actor, he would be world famous, but he is in the science world and in the engineering world. So yes, he is amazing. And the only thing he's thinking about is saving the biosphere, saving the biosphere. And of course, behind a strong man, there is a strong woman. And this is Madame Nadezhda Kosovera. And she is taking care of the business. She's also an engineer. So she loves this technology and she is taking care of the business and making sure that everything runs smooth, and she's doing a very good job. In 2018, she even got a reward of good management. And here you can see her on the picture holding that certificate. And then we surpassed the audit, but we need, of course, the audit of last year. Yeah. So if we have the audit from last year, 2022, then we know if we made profit or not. And that will have an impact if we have dividends. So when is the audit coming out? Mostly around May. Yeah, around May, we have the audit from Unitsky String Technology Inc. And let's all focus on that. Let's all focus on that. And it's a big thing, you know, surpassing the audit. That means that the company is healthy and everything is run up, you know, good. So, okay, let's focus on that. May is a very important month for us. Okay, I told you our CEO had a lot of certificates and patents on his name. Here you go. And he also made a lot of designs. If you ever have the chance to go to the test park in Belarus, there's a museum and the ground floor is, the walls are just full of his design. It's amazing what this man created in his life. And you can see here him standing underneath his first test vehicle. And this vehicle is still there, alive. It is renovated and shown off in the test park. And yes, amazing. This one is his last design, and he's already having engineers working on it. And there are even big investors who are interested in it. And what is it? It's Sky Space. And he wants to take all the factories into space. So only a green planet. And I signed for that. So he took the technology all over the world, and I had the privilege to be there with him sometimes. And this was in the inner trance. You can see him here explaining to these two gentlemen who were from the National Railroad Company of my home country, explaining to them about their problems and what he has as solutions. And he was, of course, these gentlemen were also blown away by the technology and very interested, like so many in the world. So production and results, what does it mean? What did we do with the money? We gathered a lot of money. And yes, this is our building. This building is in Minsk. Yeah, Minsk is Belarus. This is the capital of Belarus. Belarus is an independent country between Russia and Europe. It's 9 stories high. It's ours. Yeah, it's not from a bank. It's ours. There are 900 employees working in that building. Yeah, for the company, 900. And it's highly secured. You can only enter with a hand scan because, of course, there are a lot of other companies who want to know about our technology. And then we have our own factory. This is in also in Belarus. We started with this building, and then the blue building in the back. And then we had to expand. I told you we thought only to make 2 vehicles and 2 solder rails, but the world was demanding much more. So we had to build that building and that big building next to the main building. And here are some pictures from inside. And a lot of people ask me, Kaat, but these vehicles are in the air and they're almost completely made out of glass. How can that be safe? Yeah, okay. I'm going to surprise you. This is not just normal glass. This is smart glass, also a patent of our CEO. So if this glass will have a sharp projectile impacted on it, at 500 kilometers an hour, it will not break. Why? Because it is smart glass. It cannot break. And yeah, that is a patent of our CEO. So it's quite safe. Then we have 2 test parks, one in Marina Gorka, that's 150 kilometers from the main capital, from Minsk. It's a beautiful place. It was a disaster. It was a army tank test area. You can imagine how that looked like. And we made a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. Voila. So what is here? We have the 7 tracks here. If you look closely, you can count 7 sort of tracks. We test all the vehicles here. We test, of course, we also certified them here. And this building, I told you there's a museum. And then this building before this little pond is a eco house, also a patent of our CEO. And in this pond, there are fish, and you see these trees. These are fruit trees, and we even have a greenhouse in between the big trees. So when delegates of other countries come and visit us, then they get fish from our ponds and fruit and vegetables from our gardens. And why do we do that? To make a statement that this technology is top ecological. Yeah. So there you go. And then we have another test park that is in the Innovation Center in Sharjah. And this is in the United Arab Emirates. And here we built 4 tracks, and the 4th track is just finished. And you can see here the design of the container transportation. Yes, and that is a station for container, cargo, and passenger. Here is our CEO with his son showing off the road sign to the park, the Unitsky Test and Certification Center. And this picture is a very personal picture. This is the leaders team, a part of the leaders team. Remember the beginning of the presentation. And we are from all over the world and active partners. And we were invited to celebrate the first anchor in the ground in Sharjah. And that was, wow, yeah, that was a major thing. That was a milestone for us. And the CEO of the test park announced that if the 4th line is finished and the certification is done at soon, they will announce their first track, container track in Sharjah. Sharjah is a port city. So here you go. So we're impatiently waiting for that announcement. And then in Sharjah, there is this miracle. We also have a eco house there. It's the only wooden house in the whole of United Arab Emirates. Sorry, United Emirates. And Unitsky even had the approval from the king himself, because there is not allowed to build wooden houses. And this house is an eco house, has a garden in the middle and in the center. And you can see it's quite green. And why is that in the middle of the desert so green? How can that be? Well, it's because of the humus, something our CEO designed. It's some sort of soil that makes plants grow wherever you want. And he is designing it, first of all, and he told me that himself personally, all the roads that will not be necessary if we start building the technology all over the world. There will be a lot of roads that are not necessary anymore, and the soil underneath that these roads will be very dead because they didn't have air and light for a long time. And he said, if we can revive that soil, that would be an amazing thing for the environment. And that's why he was looking for a soil that could revive any soil, and also to take it into space, to give the people who live in space a green area. And of course, because we're so innovative, Unitsky is so innovative, we were all over the news, even in CNN Business News and Fox News. And you can imagine how many reactions we got there. We were represented in the Expo 2020 in Dubai. We were in India in the Expo Smart City in 2022. Here is some pictures of our colleague Said, who did a great job the whole weekend. And then we were back in the InnoTrans last year, represented by the RTA, that is the National Transportation Company of the United Arab Emirates. And they showed our last vehicle, the Unibike, and the latest design. And I think it's very, very slick. Yeah. So a lot of countries got information about this technology. And here's my colleague, Christian van der Vijver, who, he represented in Nigeria, Anambra State. They are very interested in the technology. Then Rwanda and Lesotho is looking for solutions. Then Indonesia signed some contracts, and more than 150 delegates from all over the world visit our test parks already. So there are a lot of countries waiting in row, for this technology to be built in their countries. In 2021, we signed 4 contracts. And we know now, out of the latest interview of our CEO, that all these 4 contracts are already in stage 2 of the development of the commercial tracks. Yeah. Okay, and here, this is a picture that is very important. Here is Dr. Anatoly Unitsky holding a certificate, and that certificate is saying, it is written on, Unitsky String Technology Inc. is a reliable and bona fide partner for business activities in Belarus and abroad. What does that mean? It means that Unitsky String Technology and the Unitsky Transportation is certified to be used in the whole wide world. So now trams and trains and cars and motorcycles and airplanes and you name it. And there will be Unitsky in the air. Yeah, in the air. Very soon. Can't wait. So everybody can still invest in it and support the technology. You can start with $50. You can even buy packages that you can pay off 5 months, 9 months. And yes, we are represented all over the world. And we are around 400,000 investors now, supporters of the technology. Where are we in the financial plan? We started in 2014 with scratch, nothing, zero. Only an idea of a genius. Yeah, and every stage we gathered money, we bought something, we built something, we bought something, we built something, we bought something, we built something. And it's stage 8. There was no risk anymore. Why? Because we have now enough asset to pay back the investors if something would happen, but it will not. Yeah. So now we're in stage 14.3, and we only have a small step to finish everything off. And yes, I know, the last steps are always the hardest, and we are almost there. So get together and do the last steps together. Invest, tell to people, put in some extra money, because this is need to be finished off, and the world will soon know what Unitsky is. So what do you get if you support the technology? What you get instead, you get dividends. These are pre-IPO dividend shares. That means they give you a passive income for life. They give you a passive income for life. And They are even inherited. Yeah, so if you leave this beautiful planet, you can give these dividends to your children. Let me give you an example. For example, your grandfather bought some dividend shares for a very cheap price of a railroad company that is now 150 years old. And there are railroad companies, 150 railroad construction companies that are 150 years old. Yeah. Due to the smart move of your grandfather, you and your family and your family before you could enjoy dividends for generations, not only your grandfather, but also your grandfather, then the rest of the family. Can you imagine? Families got rich by these dividend shares. And this is the same opportunity. So if you buy shares, you will have yearly 20% of the profit of the company worldwide, all projects all over the world. Yeah. So not only do you help to save the biosphere and you give a legacy for the next generations, but you will enhance your financial situation and the ones from your children and your grandchildren. Yeah, because the company gives 100 years guarantees on the tracks. 100 years, that's a long time. Yeah. And yes, you can sell these shares if the company decides to go on the stock market. And personally, I hope that will take a long time, because a lot of people are misinformed because they think shares, stock market, sell. And no, that is not a good idea. You will make somebody else rich. You don't sell the goose with the golden eggs, right? So what about the stock market? The stock market, what impact will the stock market have on our pre-IPO dividend shares? We have the A-class shares in our position, A-class shares. And the normal shares that we all know that go on the stock market, that you buy and sell one time, and you will not have in your possession anymore if we go on the stock market. And the B-class shares will go up in price because the world knows about the technology, are interested to have these B-class shares. Then the price will go up. And if the price go up, the profit of the company will go up. And if the profit goes up, that will have, then we get more for one dividend share. So the more shares you own, the more you will get. So 20% of the profit will go to divided amongst the pre-IPO dividend shares, the A-class shares. Once we stop the sale of these shares, you will only have B-class shares. Yeah, B-class shares are the normal shares. If they go up in price, the company's profit will go up in price, and we will have more for one share. Yeah, each share will be more valuable and gives us more dividends every year. And that's the only thing that the stock market will have an effect on us, on our A-class shares, pre-IPO dividend shares. Yeah, do you understand? I know it's a little bit difficult, but there are two sort of shares, and we have the diamonds in our hands. Yeah. So then I told you in 2021, there were 4 tracks, commercial tracks signed, and they already passed the first stage. Yeah. First stage is the pre-feasibility stage. That is a stage that the engineers need to know what's in the ground, what's the impact of the environment, how many vehicles, what do you want to transport, how much do you want to transport, how fast do you want to transport, and so on and so on and so on. You got the idea, yeah? Then the second stage is the designing, and it can also be combined with the construction phase, the third phase. And then the fourth phase is to train the personnel, because this is innovative, this is completely new. So here we go, yeah? People need to be trained Yeah, and you could see in the news that there are some universities interested to start up a special how you say that, class for studying the new transportation technology. Yeah, so that is amazing. Yeah. Okay, and then the last step and is 2 years of the engineers keeping an eye on the tracks, keeping an eye on the vehicles. Because yes, we give 100 years guarantees on the tracks, so everything should be 100% perfect. Okay, and so I always say, get shares of this rapidly growing transportation company. And how do you do that? Well, you give your name, your best email, and your phone number to the person who got you here in this meeting. Then this person will send you a link, and you click on that link, then you get a confirmation email. You fill in that confirmation email. You can even choose an own password, write it down, don't forget it. And then you can log in with your email and your password on this address. And this is the only address. You get a free back office with no obligations. Everything you can read there, documents, the news, everything. Make sure that you send this address, yeah, to this browser address, to an email. Why? Because there are hackers on the net. And if you just Google it, then it can be that there's a hacker and they change a little bit, you don't even notice it in the address. And then you log in, you upload money, and they're gone with your money, and we can't do anything about it. And it happened. Yeah. So please, please, please send this address to your email and start from your email. Okay. How cheap are the shares now? They're very cheap. Giveaway price in between 2 cents and 7 cents. We are speaking about pre-IPO dividend shares. Yeah, they give you passive income for life. You do not sell them. Yeah. Okay. Let's take the package of 1,000. One payment, you get 27,000 shares. Yeah. 27,000 shares. Until the 27th of this month, we have a promo. You get for $1,000, 80,000 shares. 80,000 shares. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so it's a giveaway price. Yeah, and if you're a newbie, you get even 10% on top if you log in, if you click on the link, if you do your certification, because you need to do a verification. Not a certification, a verification, of course, because it needs all to be legal. Yeah, because these shares are going to be on your name all within 7 days. And I advise you start on Monday because the verification team is not active in the weekend. And then you have, I told you there are packages you could pay off. Here you go. Yeah, for example, the one of 1,000, we call it the stable. $200 a month, 5 months in a row. A share costs you 4 cents. And yes, there are packages now. If you're fast, there are packages who give you much more shares. That's a promo of the Christmas and the New Year promo. That will end at 27. So grab it as fast as you can. You get 80,000 shares and you can pay it off monthly. And the other packages, if you do a double payment, you even get more shares on top of that. Yeah, so you can see it's send. I remember I supported Tesla cars, electric cars, in the beginning when the normal shares were on the stock market, and they were 46 each, $46 each, and I sold them at 86. And I thought I did a lot of profit, but then you sell your shares and they're gone. It's one-time profit, that's it. These shares give you, as long as you live, dividends, as long as you live, and your children and your grandchildren. Yeah. So do realize, please, what you have in your hands. Then we have a app in the Play Store. This is my phone. You can put it in English. What you see on the app, everything you see on your computer. You can read the news. You can see the money you upload. You can upload money on it. You can see your team. You can see your commission. Yes, there's a partner structure on our platform. You can have commission and buy some more shares like I did. And of course, the news, you need to be updated what your company is doing, and so on and so on. Everything is in their documents. Yeah, everything. And then also the company has a new website. This is the old website. If you click in this website, you will see that you will get immediately to the new website. It's a beautiful website. It's very interactive. You can click on things and it moves, and it has videos and a lot of information about the technology. So go there and check it out. Then a personal request, please say hello to Dr. Anatoly Unitsky on the internet. He has Facebook, he has YouTube, he has Twitter, Instagram. This man is 73 and he's still working for us. Yeah, he could go on pension, but he's still working for us. And he wants to improve and have an impact on the biosphere and do that for the next generations. Pardon me. Please show your respect for this man and say hello, like, subscribe, say hello, show your interests, show your respect. And I check it now and then, I see that a lot of people react on his social media and he reads it. Yeah, you can translate it, he reads it. And, that gives him the energy to go forward. And then, yes, I told you there is a reward plan. Here you go. You can start as a partner. You don't have to invest anything yourself, and you immediately get 4 levels deep. And the first level gives you 15% of whatever you bring in. So if you have a friend or a sister or brother who also see this opportunity and also are very grateful that there are people doing something to improve our life situations, and they want to support it, you get whatever they put in, you get a 50% commission. That commission you can use to buy your own shares, like I did. And then when you grow in the partner plan, you also have to invest a little bit, and it doesn't need to be out of your own pocket. When you're a top expert and sky expert, you get a monthly income. It depends on how much your team brings in. But you can start with 0, yeah, no personal investment, and you can grow in this partner plan. Yeah. So yes, there is a partner plan, and there's a partner structure on our platform, and it gives the chance to everybody. Yeah, nobody can complain like, I don't have the money to invest. No, you can tell it to the world, and then with that money you can buy pre-IPO dividend shares for your life. So this is me, Kaat Jacobs. You can contact me on WhatsApp only in emergencies, please, because I have hundreds of messages a week. Then you can, if you really need some help, contact my team, india@skyway.capital. Why India? Because I'm also responsible for India. And then find me on Facebook, YouTube, Telegram, and Instagram. I have a Facebook group with around almost 13,000 people in there. And it is called Skywalk New Millionaire. Why Skywalk New Millionaire? Well, when we were in the inner trance as volunteers, we worked very hard the whole weekend to do translations. And after that weekend, when all the other people were going out and the inner trance was closed, we sat down, relaxed a little bit. And the right hand of Unitsky came to sit with us, and he, thanked us for our hard work. And then his telephone beeped. And he showed us the message, and that was from a very well-known company, and the name I can't reveal. And he said, we have so much work. We are contacted by so many people of so many companies, CEOs who can't wait to connect with us. And he said, the people who own these shares, these pre-IPO dividend shares, are the new millionaires of the world, but they don't realize it. They don't know it yet. So when he left after our conversation, I said to my colleague, wow, that's a great name for a Facebook group, Sky World New Millionaires. So here you go. That's how this group got born. So we're on Telegram, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, whatever you want. And I personally keep an eye on the Facebook group and answer all the questions myself. So thank you very much for your interest and your teamwork, for the people who are very active on our platform. And maybe I see you tomorrow in the Hindi meeting. And then otherwise, I see you maybe in the Q&A when I stop this recording, or next Saturday. I always be there every Saturday. So thank you for being here, and I will stop the recording now.